Hello and welcome to this Intatio presentation. So the purpose of this is one of the questions we get a lot is how is Intatio free, especially for conferences and events and your conference producers, your event producers, typically wondering how that's possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we're able to provide Intatio, the entire platform, for free for conferences and events, and actually beyond that, how it generates revenue, because typically this is able to generate revenue for the conference planners or the organizers and the event organizers, depending on what it is. That's why we normally have to have a conversation, but let me show you how it is. So there's a few reasons why it's free. So the first reason why it's free is setup takes 30, 40 seconds. So I'm going to just walk through it. If you have 5 minutes, we can go through the entire process of how setup works. So I'm going to you can go here by yourself. So this is register.intatio.com/register. Intatio is owned by KMT Corp. This is my number. So if you want to give me a call, 412-503-3657. And I need to find support at Intatio. There we go. So that's it. So next thing you have to do is, what is your URL going to be? So it'll be whatever your URL is, .intatio.com. So let's just say I have conference ABC or KMT for KMT Corp. Okay. This is going to be where your Intatio is going to be launched, and that is it. So it'll take about a minute, 2 minutes to get that going. Let me open up my other email here in another browser. And so the whole entire system is automated, so it's going through this process of building a new Intatio. This is completely secure. It's separate from all the other ones that are built, so no one has any access. If you have access on another one, that doesn't give you any kind of access to content over here. Typically, we say that Intatio content isn't going to be. You don't want to put your most secret stuff on there. It's going to be for conferences and events, some kind of presentation that you want to keep it to your audience, but it's not an open social network like Twitter or something like that. But at the same time, you want it to spread. It's content marketing and learning development, things of that nature. So there you see that, and right at the same time that happened, I got an email over here. So I'll pull this over here so you can see it. So this is the email that I got. Finish the setup for your Intatio portal, conference kmt.intatio.com. And then it's going to live here, and there's my activation. Here's my username, which is just going to be your email. Here's where they'll log in from that point on. This is my information here, so you can go ahead and connect with me if you'd like. You can always give me a call. This is another number I have. And you can always email me. Email is really better. So I'm going to click on the link, and let's set a password. Copy that, agree to your terms and service. Our terms of service and privacy policy is pretty straightforward. We don't share information, we don't sell third-party information, any of that kind of stuff. And now I'm logging in, and there you go. That's an Intatio. And what you can see here is I went right into it's completely created. It's its own system. And I got this little pop-up, invite speakers and attendees. So the next setup part is really just who's going to be attending your conference and event, and who's going to be either a speaker or an exhibitor. Who would be somebody that would have a presentation that they want to provide through Intatio to the attendees. And this is the second reason why it's so easy, because all you really have to do is go invite attendees, just copy and paste a list of emails. It doesn't even have to be the email that they necessarily want for their account. It's just where you're going to send it, and you apply it. So that's my email again. I'll save that, invite attendees, and there you go. And I'll get an email for this one, and that'll invite me there, which you can see right here. So there's that email, and I can do that registration, and then you invite your speakers. So I'm going to actually invite myself here, apply that, invite my speakers. Speakers are invited. I'll get another email. That'll invite the speaker, and there you go. Once they're invited, they're taken through a similar process to what I just went through. So it's all automated. They go in, they become attendees. Attendees have very limited access permissions. Speakers and presenters have, they will be walked through something a little bit different. So I'm gonna go through that right now. One moment. Okay, so I've invited my speaker and presenter, and here is an example of a speaker presenter email. You can update these email templates on your own. So once you create, oh, I do have to log out from my other ones. But once you create this in Tadio, if you want to change what those emails are going to look like, you just go to email templates. And these are all of the different email templates that exist, and you can go right in and start changing them. It's pretty simple, very self-explanatory, and just save it. So if you want to put any kind of company information, you want to change what your subject's going to look like, all of those are right there. Easy to use, you can see. So I'm going to log out, and what I want to, reason I'm going to do this is I want to go through this process of registering a new user that's a speaker. So you can see the speaker wizard's a little bit different. So this is one of the other reasons why it's free, is because we don't have to do any kind of real support. They go in, and if they need help, they can send this to us. This goes to our support people. And if they want to change their email, they can, but let's say we'll do JJ McCloy 123. Add a password, add my password. And the next step is going to be uploading an image. So let's say my image is this. I don't like that image. There you go. There's me. It's a good description, right? Find a little more content here. So they agree to the terms of service. There's the long bio, short bio. Do a little something better than that. And 412-503-3657. If you want to put any of your social, this is for the presenter. So these are the people that are going to be doing the, are going to be in booths. These are the people who are going to be giving a speech. This is where they can start to add their information, which is then going to make it easier for them to be found, to be associated with any kind of presentations that they're giving. I'm finding my LinkedIn. So that would be an example of a LinkedIn. And it goes right into their presentation. They can come back here if they want. So there isn't any kind of setup in terms of our presentation. So this is going to be, you know, my sample presentation. This might be something that's given in a booth. It might be something, you know, you have a speaker or something along those lines. Find your cover image. So this is what's going to show up on the presentation for the users that are going to access it. So my presentation, again, a description. And this is really where the power in Tadio comes from, in that I'm going to upload, this is a PowerPoint. It's just a single file PowerPoint. I can split it automatically into images or PDF. So if it had any kind of links, anything like that, I could do a PDF. Images are a little bit better in terms of how fast they'll run. Select next. And this is everything that we've got: title, description, the cover image. This is the main file. It's just a regular PowerPoint. And I could add additional files too. So I could have, a video, some images, I could have some PDFs, and it'll just automatically create what you're going to see. Which is it's gonna take this, break it all up into slides, convert it all over so that it's prepared. You got a little message here. It says, okay, this is going to be created. This is how happening in the cloud. It's taking every slide, breaking them up, and usually takes about. So this is my all presentations, my sample presentation, and it'll be here once it's done. And it takes about 2 to 3 minutes for that presentation. Is relatively large. It's about 20 slides. For that to run. So once that runs, that's pretty much it. So everything else is really ready. There's only going to be one other part here that we need to do, and then I could actually take this as a presenter if I had an exhibit in a conference or an event, and with my iPad, I can go and download Intadio for iPad right here. Salesforce is really more something that we do on the back end. That's something that we do at Intadio. Or if it's like an individual company, we'll help them get that. And then any help you have is right here. So while this is converting, so I'll talk about why else is it free. So we've talked about the first part. It's easy to launch. We just launched an entire Intadio for a conference. Very easy to add your attendees and your speakers. You don't need an administrator to do it. You just update your email however you like, and then send out. You just basically need 2 lists of emails, and they get sent out. There's some ways that you can monitor who's actually logged in, who hasn't, in the user management section. We'll cover that in another video. Once those presenters once they come in and they access Intadio, they're walked right through every single part. So every step is shown to them. They set up their bio, they set everything up. While this is doing that, I'll show you what the bio looks like. So this is what their bio is going to look like. There's my short bio, long bio, my social media. You can see what presentations they currently have. Once this is converted over, all the slides will be here. So that's the person who's doing the presentations at the event or the conference, and how we actually so how do we generate revenue off of these? So there's a few different ways that we generate revenue, and it's normally our conference planners or conference producers, event producers take part in this as well. So you see the showcase over here. The way the sharing works typically in Intadio, there's ways we can configure it differently, but this is normally the conference and event configuration, is that here I have my sample presentation. Here you can see now it's done, so it took about 2 minutes. These are all loading. So these are all the different slides that were in that presentation. Now the user can go through and it just copies over the text, but if they want to start to edit them, they can change this information, they can add individual descriptions. If they have MailChimp integration set up, they can actually tie a slide to a MailChimp list, and that works with the subscription management tools, but it's a little more advanced. All that's really important right now is that as of now, the presentation's uploaded. If they want to go in and start adding some descriptions, they can, and then this is where they can give that presentation. This is what your end user can come in and see. So the last part is, so that they can prepare for their booth, they have a couple different ways they can do that. So if they have a list of people that they want to share this presentation to, and only this presentation, they can just put those here. Or if they just go to Intadio, Intadio Management, create a new one. So this will be, the KMT conference. They can have a description. They can expire the registration if they want. So if they don't want people to have access to the page that's going to be created beyond tomorrow, they can do that. Save that. And then all they do is download the iPad app, log in, and click that link. And anybody who comes here to this page, you just have an iPad on the table. They come here if they want to get the digital presentation or access to it. Then they just enter their email, their first name, last name. If they already exist in Intadio, then it'll give them access. If they don't exist, then it'll create the account and give them access. And we start doing all the magic that we do in the back end with making sure that we can give the presenter or the exhibitor a list of everybody who has access. We can give them they can start to see the dashboard side of things where they can see, which presentations are the top ones, which slides are people looking at most often, who's looking at their content, who's coming online. All this type of information becomes available here, and then through our integration to Salesforce, we can even provide, better list segmentation and things like that. So everything's set up, and if you notice, I started less than 15 minutes ago. The rest of it's really just management. They have everything they need to, have this set up on a booth where they have this page and it's right there on an iPad. Fill it out, they register, they have access to that digital content. Now, the way that we actually make revenue is through, let's go back here to all presentations, and they can add additional presentations if they like. By adding new ones, you can see this is what the presentation will look like for the person who has signed up for it, so they can favorite them, they can subscribe to them, unsubscribe to them, they can go see who is providing this. And what we do for our revenue is just this. So when it comes time to go live, we remove these 3 blocks, and it's usually about 6 showcase blocks. And what these showcase blocks do is we just sell, the advertising for it. They link to a presentation. So anybody who wants to make their presentation available to every single person at the conference, there's 6 of them available. Usually what they sell for depends on the size of the conference, the type of conference, what we can expect. And then we do revenue sharing with the conference planner. We can add more than 6, obviously. We could have 100 of these if we wanted, but that's it. So we just have one little part to Intadio over here, and this might be my sample presentation. It's a link to it that would take that user and register them to my sample presentation, and then my sample presentation would show up over here, even if they didn't go to that exhibit or didn't attend that speech or anything else, meaning everybody else gets all this other stuff free. They get a complete content marketing system. They get the ability to put all of their presentations in a place where people can have access to them. They get the subscription management. They get all the content marketing features. But whoever promotes their presentation or their digital content, they have the ability then to register people without them actually having to come to an exhibit or somehow get access to the sign-up form. And that's it. That's how we make it free. So easy setup, easy management. We have people who monitor this in case if anybody has trouble. We provide support, and then we have a certain number of promotional sections that we charge for depending on the conference, and we can keep it going indefinitely as long as we have promotion. And that's it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to us. Obviously, you can see over here there's a lot more to Intadio than you think. There's all these different tools that you have: slide management, subscription management, presentation management. I'm currently logged in as a speaker, so I'm not seeing what we saw before, but it's quite a lot that you can do with this in terms of associating content and making it available, updating, changing slides. There's integrations to MailChimp, integrations to Salesforce, integrations to AWS, integrations to all kinds of stuff, all types of analytics that we can gather and provide a snapshot of what the entire conference looked like. So that's other things that we will provide to customers is if they want to be able to see like what was the most popular topics or what are the most popular like images or anything like that. We're able to show that and provide that kind of data as well. So that's Intadio. If you would like to learn more, if you want to see it, first thing first, just go to register.intadio.com/register, and you can create your own. And then once you've created your own, just get in touch with us any way you like. You can actually come in here, and if you just send a subject a message and say you want somebody to reach out, we'll reach out to you. And that is how it works. So thank you, and bye.